So I'd like to take this time to show you how to use Google Drive, how to access it, and what features it has, along with how to use Google Docs. The great thing about Google Drive, first off, right out of the gate, is that it can be accessed anywhere simply by logging in to your Google account. There is no need to carry around a flash drive or worry if you forgot your flash drive at home and you need to access something at school, or worrying about saving it to your H drive at school and then accessing it through a website from home. There's no need for that. It's in one place. It's super easy to use. It's super accessible. You can even access this from any computer anywhere. So what you're going to do is log into Google, of course, and then when you get there, you're just going to go right to this little 3x3 little box icon. When you click on that, you get a whole bunch of options. You're going to click Drive. So it's this little multicolored triangle. When you click on Drive, it's going to take you to your drive. So you can think of this sort of like an external hard drive or information stored in the cloud, as so many people say. So when you are in here, you'll see that you get about 15 gigs of data for free. You can upgrade that storage as needed. 15 gigs is a lot, so keep that in mind. And you'll see that there are a ton of different things. Now, the first time you see this, you may be a little overwhelmed to go, oh my gosh, there's so much here. This is not user friendly. But once you know how to use all the different features, it's so much easier. I have not used a Word document since I learned how to use these. I have not used PowerPoint. I have really not used my flash drive to save items. I've been saving everything onto my Google Drive. I've been accessing it. I've been using the Google Docs. It's just so much easier to use from what I've used before. So I just want to talk about some of the features in Drive. So the first thing that you'll see is you have this bar up here. You have settings. You can change things around as needed. But right here under my drive, you'll see this is a drop-down menu, and there are different things. You can create folders. So if I wanted to create a folder for something specific like photos, I can create that folder, and it comes right up here, and then I can save stuff to this folder with my information. But if I go back to my drive, I just want to show you, you can upload files. So if you want to get rid of your flash drive, you want to upload your files to Google Drive, you can do that. You can just go to upload files. I can go right to my flash drive and I can just upload something from here. If I wanted to upload, whatever this checklist is, it'll upload it to the account for me and it's done. So it's a really great way to sort of organize your information and upload it to one place. You can also upload folders. So again, if I go to my flash drive and I wanted to upload my, let's see here, my 40 book challenge folder, I can select that folder and it will upload the whole folder for me. Everything, once it comes in. Right now it's uploading, but everything's coming up, which is awesome. So you don't even have to worry about like uploading each individual file. You can upload an entire folder in one go. You also see under here you get your Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides. There's a more option for a bunch of other things. I have a few here that are just parts of my extensions, but Google has a whole bunch of stuff that's equivalent to what Microsoft, of course, has. So you'll see here you have Google Docs, which is similar to Microsoft Word. Google Sheets is similar to Excel. Google Slides is similar to PowerPoint, and then you have Google Forms, Google Drawings, and Google My Maps. We are going to specifically talk about Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and Google Forms today. And I'm just going to go through each one real quick to show you. Now, as far as with the drive, before I go into those, you can see here you can create new stuff just like in that drop down. It's the same thing here. You also have a few other things. So you have your drive. These are your files specific to you. You also have one that's called Shared with Me. These are files and folders that other people can share with you through Google. So the great thing about Google is that it's truly a collaborative environment if you want it to be. So that means you can create a Google Doc and then share it with other people through Google, and you can collaborate together no matter where you are. You can share presentations, anything you want, you can share through here, and it would show up in this specific part. You also have Google Photos. This is where your pictures would appear. Google Photos is fairly new. They just got rid of Picasa in May, so I'm not totally familiar with Google Photos, but it's something that you'll be able to store your pictures here as well. You have your recent, so this is sort of like a timeline. It's going to show you what's been saved or uploaded or created or edited in whatever time period. You have a starred section as well. So if there is an important file that you need immediate access to every time you get onto Google Drive, you can actually right click your whatever it is in your drive, and you can add a star to it, and that's going to go right to your starred items. Also, you have a trash folder, so if there's something that you deleted and you didn't want to delete it, you can go back and get it. You can see there's a ton of stuff in here right now. It's taken me many times to record these videos. So Google Drive is a great resource. It's like having an external hard drive, but you don't have to carry it around with you. Let's talk about Google Documents next. I wanted to just go over the features of the 4 that I was talking about: Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Forms. So we're going to start with Google Docs. And again, the cool thing about Google Drive is everything is included here. You don't have to download any new software. You don't have to purchase anything. It's here for you to use for free, which is awesome. So it's amazing to see how you used to have to buy a computer and then buy a word processing software. Now you don't have to. You can use the Google software. So this is what a blank document would look like. You can change the name of it up top, untitled. This saves automatically for you. You don't have to worry about constantly saving. It's just going to keep saving it into the drive for you. So once you open this document, you're going to have an untitled document in your drive until you title it and all that. You can choose to share your document. Right now it's private, but you can put in, and then you can share with people if you wanted to. You can get a shareable link and share that link as well. You can add comments. You can choose if it's editing, suggesting, and viewing. So if you want to share something but you only want it as a view only, that's what you would select. If you want it as suggestions, people can put in suggestions. If you want it to edit, that means anybody that you share it with can edit the file. You can also choose to make a copy of it so that you have the original, and then you can do one as a shared file that people can edit. You can email your collaborators. You can email it as an attachment. And then there's also all of these templates. So if you go back here. If you click on that little blue box in the left-hand corner, it's going to take you to the templates that they have set up. So there are a ton of templates here already created that you can use. You will see your recent documents as well, and then you can create a blank document, or you can pick any of these templates. So if you look at education, there's quite a few. You have your essays, reports, you have class notes, lesson plans. There's different things for work as far as meeting notes, newsletters, or brochures. So there's a lot here that you can use with your students or for yourself. You can also create your own blank document as well. And like I said, when you're done, I'm just going to go back to my drive here, and you'll see here's that document, that test document. It automatically saved for me, so that was really cool. If you need to delete something, you can always right click, or you can go right up to the top and you can see, you can preview it, you can add people to that specific document or remove it, and there's a whole bunch of other things you can do. Next is, Google Sheets. So, just waiting here. Okay. So again, click New, Google Sheets. is here. Google Sheets is a spreadsheet program. It is just like Excel, only in my opinion, it's slightly easier to use. I like that you have your formulas right here. It's not as confusing. It's one place and you can sort of work on what you're doing. Same thing works here. You can share this with people. You can add collaborators. You can email your collaborators. You can publish it. You can download it. You can title it however you want. You can add it to a specific folder. There are also templates here. There are lots of different templates. There's budgets. You can, you have all your personal types, schedules, calendars, to-do lists. There's stuff for work. There's education, and I'm actually planning on using the attendance record for myself. And you can see it's set up where you can just put in what you need. Totally able to once it lets me. Just taking a minute. Totally able to edit this to how you need. So, for example, a classroom teacher would use dates, whereas a special area teacher may go by cycle dates. So I see my students once every 6 school days. I might set it up as cycle 1 through 30 because I see my students 30 times in a school year. So I can edit that as needed. And again, super easy to use. I can get rid of what I need to. I can change what I need, and it's here for me, ready to go. I don't have to open it up on to my flash drive, open it, edit it, save it. It all saves automatically. So it's a great, great resource. And again, you have everything that you would use in Excel. It's just here, and it's free. Next, I want to talk about Google Slides. This is the one that is similar to PowerPoint. And I played around with Google Slides, and I actually converted a PowerPoint presentation I had to Google Slides to see how it would work. And I just liked how this worked a little bit better. Again, it was a bit easier to use. You get your, you have themes to pick from. You have all of the same things, layouts, your transitions, your backgrounds. You can pick, your layouts, you can pick what your slides look like. And there are a few things here that are very particular to Google. They're unique to Google. For example, your present. You can click present and it'll start the presentation, or you can click this little drop down menu and there's this presenter view. So you can use audience Q&A, and what this does is it brings the PowerPoint up or the presentation up, and then you can actually click start new, and people can ask you questions as you're going through the slides, and you can answer them live. So that's another really cool thing that they have that PowerPoint doesn't. I think it creates a whole new interactive element, especially as a teacher. You can have students leave feedback, or they can ask specific questions if they've watched the presentation but they don't understand something. You can use this to collaborate with other teachers, or if you're teaching a training, it's a great way to get more information and interact more. Also with Google Slides, which I just X'd out of and I shouldn't have, you are going to get your templates again. And there are some really cool templates here. They do have that education section for every single document. And with this one, it goes through, there's a lot of great ones here. So if you're, pitching something, or you have a big idea, you can do photo albums, wedding activities. They have a bunch of stuff here for students. So for example, there's science projects and science fairs, field trips. So if you're doing like a virtual field trip, they also have a book report. This is another great way to show students how to create a book report. If you want them to do something different, it's a great way to have them do a different type of presentation, and it's set up so that they just have to plug in their information. So then you don't have to worry about students taking forever to create the slides and do what they need to do. It's all here laid out for them. It's telling them exactly what they need to put down, exactly what they need to do. So it's just another great way to get students on the computer with technology. And again, they can access this from home. They don't have to worry about having Microsoft PowerPoint at home or Microsoft Word at home. All of this is free for them to use. All they have to do is go to Google and sign in with their username and password and access their drive and their information. So it's another great way to make sure students who can access the technology can get to these these things. The last one I wanted to talk about was forms. This one is something that I don't think I know of a Microsoft equivalent, but something like SurveyMonkey. It's sort of along the same lines. This can be something that you use for a summative or formative assessment. You can use it as pretest. You could use it as a survey to gauge interest on something. I have one that I created for student reading interests. So it's something that I'll be giving to my students or sharing the link with my students so that they can fill it out and I can see what types of books I should be purchasing for my students next year. What are they interested in? What books do we not have that they want to read? It's a great way for me to sort of see what the students are doing, and I don't have to worry about printing out 900 surveys. It can all be done digitally. So with this, I just want to talk about all the different aspects of Google Forms because this is a little bit more involved. So of course you do have templates that you can use if you're looking for something. A lot of them are more personal. There are a few, like there's a blank quiz, there's exit tickets. So if you're looking for a way to get your closure done and you have those computers available, you can do exit tickets here as a way to do it. You can do your assessments, like I said, worksheets, course evaluations, whatever you want to use. But if I go to my form, I just want to talk about some of the things here. So you get your two options, questions and responses. And if you're looking at your questions, you start with the first question. So you get your form. So if you wanted to put in a test and then your description, what the test is about, and then you start your question. So the first question, and I keep using this, but and the saves. So it switched over and it's still here. And you can put in options. Now you have different ways of answering, so you don't have to do just multiple choice. You can choose to do a short answer question, a paragraph, multiple choice check boxes if they get to check multiple answers, drop down options. You can do a linear scale, so 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. If you're doing, I agree with this or don't agree with this, you can do a multiple choice grid, which is sort of traditional. You can also do, you can have them put in their date or the time so that you know when they did it. You can choose whatever question or type that you choose. You can also make sure that it's required or it's not. You can duplicate the questions. You can, there's different options as far as each question. I haven't really gone into those though. And then also, you have over here, once you're done with your one question, you can add another question very quickly. And then you can add another title and description. You can add an image. You can add a video. So watch this video and then write a paragraph on what you learned. You can add sections. So there's a ton you can do here. And then when you're done creating it and you share it with your students, you can record their responses as well. So you can keep this as accepting responses, or if the time period for whatever you've chosen to use the form for is over, you can click over for not accepting responses. And then you can actually create a spreadsheet for these, and then that will compile all the results for you. Again, you can also get email notifications for your new responses. You can select a destination as far as all the responses to go. You can download the responses. You can delete them. There's a whole bunch to do there. You can also change your color palette if you wanted to. You can preview the form. You can change the settings, limit how many responses. If it requires a sign-in, you can limit the response. You can let students edit after they've submitted or see a summary of the responses. You can have students see the progress bar or shuffle the question order if you have a bunch of students taking the same quiz. There's so much here that you can do with these students. So you can make it a quiz and assign point values, and then you can mark which answer is correct, and it'll grade it for you. So again, this is a really great thing to use that's going to make your life a little bit easier. Again, you get rid of those paper tests. You can send it back. Students can see their grade. You can record the grade in your grade book using Google Spreadsheet or your grading software, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about actually sitting there correcting each question. There are a few other things like Google Drawings and Google My Maps. These are things that you can sort of explore as you go. If you have any questions, please let me know. Make sure that you explore these and really play around with them so that you get a better feel of them as well.